thinking of implementing multiplayer? Because I mean, as I actually mentioned before, everybody joined this room. You can like build machines to, I don't know, maybe battle other players with the machines. Like you actually showed a cannon, so you can very
Yeah.
easily imagine like a war scenario, and that would be fun against other people. What's your
Mhm.
take on that? What do you plan?
Yeah, I'm glad Nilon mentioned that. So that's exactly one of the things we have had in mind regarding multiplayer. So we've had three concepts for multiplayer. I'm actually gonna drop a little concept art that our artist did regarding different ideas we've had for multiplayer. So one idea is having like a co-op quality control thing where like one player controls the build, the other one controls the weapons. The other one is like a battle royale kind of gameplay, which is very similar to what Nilon said about like combating different people. Now it could be like team based, or it could be like just free for all battle royale, where you kind of destroy each other, collect steal resources from each other, and just build up and grow in like either in empire or in your build size or whatever it is. And then like the idea of having smaller sandbox games where like you do racing, like there's battle bots and that kind of thing. So these are the ideas we have, although we are not going to launch a multiplayer mode before early access release. So that's like definitely the plan. We first gonna release single player as early access, and then we would start building the multiplayer. As you know, multiplayer is like a huge beast.
Yeah,
They say it takes
I
four
can tell you.
times
Yeah,
single player. So yeah, we have to be very
I
careful
think you're
with that.
actually on the right path. First nailing down the single player, and then adding on top of that the multiplayer mode, because
Hmm.
it's a different game basically to when you're building the multiplayer.
Yeah, yeah,
So
totally.
apparently, what Carlos meant is like, what's the benefits of rational game design for tiny studios? I mean,
Sure.
don't really know
What do you
what.
mean by irrational? Yeah.
I
So
think he means like you just exclude everything that's let's say gameplay for gameplay purposes. So you mentioned actually exaggerating the properties of some
oh yeah,
materials,
yeah,
you know. So
sure.
keep all of that out and just make it a full simulator. Basically, I think that's what he means
Ah,
by rational game design.
okay.
Just make everything as rational as possible, as realistic as possible.
I
What do you
get it.
think are the benefits of that?
Okay, so that becomes a simulator game, and I think you have to be incredibly genius with the design to make it fun. Otherwise, it not may be as fun as you think. So I think if someone can do that, uh, then kudos to them. It's a very difficult job. So I know Kerbal Space Program did really well with this, like where you actually have to build spaceship rockets and shoot them in the space.
Yeah.
And the back end was incredibly accurate in terms of physics, and the game is really fun. So I think they did it really well. Uh, we don't want to do that necessarily. We want to keep the fun element as well. Uh, but yeah, I think with the physics and with the materials, we want to keep the realistic element, but we want this to be in like in a fantasy world. So we've gone with this idea of mixing the two, but definitely I can see, like it depends on how you position. Like there are no right or wrong answers. You know, you could go entirely fantasy, or you could go entirely realistic simulation. It's just how it's really about your passion. You know, what you're passionate about.
Yeah, actually, now that you mentioned that very few games can like make a full simulator fun and feel like a game instead of a simulator.
Mm-hmm.
Recently, I've been playing a game called Scum. You maybe you've heard of it. Um, and actually, I didn't even know that it was possible to do that kind of thing in a game where basically, if for people who don't know the game, you have like a full simulation of your metabolism, like you have to eat in
Mm.
order
Yeah.
to gain weight or get stronger. If
Mm.
you don't drink water, you can die of dehydration, stuff like that. And that's just a little bit of it. Like you have actually your digestive system separate, or the food you eat separated by protein, fat, carbs, salt, the vitamins, and even the elements on the food. Like you have all of that fully realistic, fully rational, fully simulated, basically. And that's just one aspect of the game. That's like the whole game is like that. The whole game works like that. Actually, it's a good suggestion for Carlos to look at if he wants to examine, let's say, rational game design that works in a game, basically.
Yeah.
Just a suggestion. So there's another question, I think. Can you tell us a little bit more about the creative methods, the process of creating a concept for new arts, and even history and world building? Do you mean the creative method for Operation Outsmart, Mark?
I think Marco means the creative approach to...
Oh, about creating a game, maybe. That's what he meant.
Yeah. Like, do you mean... no worries, Carlos. Marco, do you mean like going from concept art to actually implementing it in a game? Is that what you're asking about? I didn't entirely understand.
It's a bit ambiguous. Let's wait for him to clear it up. But I think actually even even if it's not what he meant, I'm actually interested in what you have to say. Like, do you follow any sort of creative process in creating your game, especially the art, history, and the world building? Do you have a process?
Yeah, so we definitely do. So we start with concept arts for so we do a lot of research on the culture of what we want to do. So our concept artist is very serious about doing a lot of research before she does anything. So that's something that's very important to us. I can actually maybe give some examples on what I mean. Let me share some stuff with you. Let me see some good references. So, for example, we wanted to make this village for the koalas. So she goes and does tons of research on, let's say, like how, like human communities in the past in Australia lived like, right? So she does tons of research and she comes up with some concept art. So, for example, these are some of the props she made as a concept that would suit the environment. So you can see it has like a lot of culture aspect to it, which also relates to koalas, you know? Like there are koala drawings on those wooden stones.
Yeah.
And then there are like those koala flags. So that's how we start with. Then she makes some concept arts on the village, like how the village would look like. So this is like what you would see as a concept art. And then once we kind of settle on the theme of that area, we go and start making the models. So that's where like the 3D modeling comes in. I can show you a little bit of how that actually materializes. So let me share my screen.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
And show you part of the game. Okay. You see my screen?
Yep. Go ahead.
Okay, so this part of the story mode. So like this is how these props would start going into the world. And then you enter the koala village. So you have like these koala statues right here, right? And then you enter the village, and that's like what I showed you. So this is like the town hall house that appears in the village. Then you see all the houses having these koala ears on top of them on the roof.
Yeah.
So like that's like an integral thing that these houses belong to koalas. Like this is like how they have architectured their houses. And yeah, so these all go in the game, and you can see these symbolic things of the koalas appearing everywhere. So you see like these rocks, these wooden
Yeah.
things here. I don't know what you call them.
Like a shrine,
Uh,
basically.
yeah, like a shrine. So this is like how we make a full environment of these koala houses. Uh, so yeah, this is like how we do this. So it all starts with a lot of research, doing concept arts, and then actually modeling them in 3D.
Yeah. So basically, this would represent, or this would follow the logic of some actual civilizations and how they built their
Yeah,
villages.
yeah, kind of. It's like a mix of that with some fantasy because
Yeah.
obviously koalas never made houses.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're kind of mixing all of that.
Yeah. But it makes sense that like you research so that it's somewhat like similar to what you'd
Yeah,
see
exactly.
in a world where koalas actually built a village.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I think that actually answers Marco's question. That's what he was asking for. And I think
Uh-huh.
actually this can conclude our talk, and we're right on schedule. I planned for 10 minutes before 6, so it's perfectly,
Amazing.
but like clockwork, basically.
Awesome. If
um,
anyone has any questions, you could still drop them here. I'm happy to answer. So
yeah, I
I'll
was
be
gonna
hanging
say.
around for
Yeah, I was
another
gonna
10
say
minutes
if people
if anyone wants to.
if people
Yeah.
wanna write, then you can just
Mm-hmm.
answer them
Sure.
through writing. Something I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna share it on this
Mm-hmm.
same text channel, is your links to Steam, your Discord, obviously, your Twitter, your website, your YouTube, and the trailer that we watched. Do you wanna
Mm-hmm.
add anything to that?
No, I think you've got all of that. Yeah,
Okay, so
thanks so much
I'm
for
gonna
that.
share the links that I have, and then if you want, you can obviously put up the links that you wanna share. Like for example,
Mm-hmm.
if you had your
Sure.
Kickstarter still up and I forgot, you would put the link there.
Okay, amazing.
So yeah,
Yeah,
guys, I
put
think
that.
that's it. That's our first community talk. And then in the following weeks, I'm gonna announce the next one. Um, and we're gonna do this like once a month. So I hope that you
Mm-hmm.
guys enjoy this one and are present for the next one. Thank you, Seyed, for the talk, and I hope to
Yeah,
play.
thanks for having me. Thanks to everyone. I hope I didn't waste your time and this was
No,
something
I don't
useful.
think so. It's pretty interesting to see how this game is made, and I hope to play Operation Outsmart very soon.
Yeah, I hope so too. Thank you.
All right. So see you. Have a good one, everyone.
See you. You too. Bye bye.